Hello, Storytelling Run. Another lame video, but I guess we got to keep doing it because look at what they're doing. They're out and proud. The pagans, the atheists, they're all the Satanists. They're all the same. It's all the same. The enemy of Jesus Christ, the enemy of us, the enemy of Christianity, the enemy of the chosen people. So, of course, you got to love them because you know their end. And warn them, even if they don't want it. Even if they want to deny it over and over and over. You just, that's why that's kind of one of the biggest reasons why I'm a Calvinist. It's like, wow, you literally want to murder children and celebrate it. You absolutely have no reason or logic. This is definitely spiritual. This is definitely God making good people and making evil people and letting them run ripshod and letting us see who we are as we see the evil running ripshod. And I am having such a great time playing For the Lord RPG. I mean, you guys are missing out. Telling you, Christians who are RPGers, you got to check out this game. It's fun, loosey-goosey. Watching my shows. I'm putting pedal to the metal. I'm proving with these games I've been uploading how fun it is, how goofy, but how it works. How you play as a Christian in the game. You don't like cover or sugarcoat the game with Christianity. You don't use D&D and then code it over with Christian motifs. No, you actually evangelize and plant churches in the game. So you actually are working out like you're fighting on a pail, practicing on a pail or on a punching bag. You're actually working out your evangelism in this game and having fun playing a freaking role-playing game and being silly. And then the last one I did, they didn't even evangelize. They went around figuring out the whole trading scheme of the sci-fi setting. And I have stolen every genre you and I love. Sci-fi, Terminator, zombies, apocalypse, whatever. I've stolen it or taken it back. And we Christians can have aliens. And this is my setting has genetically modified humans, but they're all, which is a way better explanation than freaking aliens on different planets all evolved randomly. So the genetically modified sharkmen, dogmen, octopoidmen, whatever. I'm saying we can have aliens. They all for some reason talk just like us and have our bipedal and anthropomorphic. And what do you know? Plus all the alien bugs, and they're obviously genetically modified bugs that went rampant and crazy. Okay, anyway. But what do we got going on here? We got witches, and I want to teach you guys about witches and priestesses and what they are in the history that the fantasy world and the pagan world have erased. And I'm trying to bring that back. We're all starting to see it anyway, but I am trying to bring that back in the Dark Ages and in this Christian RPG, revealing to us Christians who the heck we're up against as we role play and deal with these types of people. Now, do I want abortion type witches in my games, especially for family games? No, I do not, but I at least want you to know that foundation. So you and I can figure out ways to create this, to reveal this evil to our kids early on in our games so they can see it, spot it, and not maybe not child sacrifices, but at least show that they want to sacrifice things. They want to, see that the kids like, wow, these witches are crazy. So I want to show it to you here. So here are some witches, and these are witches. When you put, I'm gonna be sexist here. When you put women in charge of stuff, statistically speaking, they go witch. They go pagan, witch, and ridiculous. And men do too. So I'm not even disregarding that, but I'm just saying statistically, women are. And this is throughout the witch trials and all that. They found that women. No, why? One of the questions they had in Hammer of Witches: why is it that so many women are the witches? They're preponderantly the ratio. Okay. So how does satanic abortion ceremony even work? Patients of all faiths are welcome at Samuel Alito's mom's satanic abortion clinic in New Mexico. So Samuel Alito's mom's satanic abortion. So obviously, mocking and scoffing is part of their DNA. They were coded that way by God. So they will mock and scoff in such bitter, vile ways. Remember, they don't have to love the enemy. I love this that, Jesus said love the enemy. And then, of course, we have atheists saying, well, why do you even have to have enemies? Why do you even have to, that's so intolerant. I don't hate you. Whatever. Okay. Atheists are such deceivers, they even deceive themselves. That's how great they are at deception. They even deceive themselves. But they will certainly sacrifice babies and do Samuel Alito's mom satanic abortion clinic. This is how there's no limit to their blaspheming, right? They don't have a rule on blaspheming. They don't have a rule on bearing false witness. They don't have so they can do all this stuff. They can deceive, kill, murder, and they're doing it here as a ritual. Support everyone. Abortion ceremonies are totally optional and customizable. Here's a simple, okay. First, find a quiet space. Bring a mirror if you can. Just before taking the medication, gaze at your reflection. Focus on your personhood. Home in on your intent, your responsibility to you. So this is Satan right here. All about you, yourself. Their definition of love is self-lust, is lust. That's what they're, and when they say love will win, what they mean is lust will win. Okay, they don't believe in love. Love is self-sacrifice. You give up your own lusts, your own masturbating to porn, your own ridiculousness for your wife and your children. You give up your own, except for role-playing games and donuts. You don't have to give those things up. But you give up all that other stuff, all those sins, because you love your wife, true love, and your children. Well, actually, it's not your love and your wife and children you love. It's Jesus you love. When you love Jesus and God, they will then give you the love for your wife and children. I am witness to that. I am a witness to that. When I realized how much I love God, Jesus, when I realized it, when I accepted it, everything, all of the desires I had, lusts I had for other women and porn and all that, it just, what the heck? It's all gone. And actually, it didn't really go away. I am still a crazy sexual dude. But he got laser focused on my wife. I cannot keep my hands off my wife now. It's incredible. I love everything about her. I love her frailties, her strengths. I love her submission and her silliness. And I love her wrinkles now. I love her imperfections of the body. I freaking love them now to a ridiculous that I kind of love. I don't want her to change. I don't want her to have plastic surgery anymore or porn looking or anything like that. I want her to be exactly who she is right now. I want her scars. I want her wrinkles. I want her aging. She was dyeing her hair to keep it kind of like, I know, let it go gray. I want who you are. I don't want you to change your face. I want to see everything that you are naturally, because all the things in her, I'm totally digressing. All the things in her body, her scars, her cancer scars, her birth scars, all that stuff. It's all like, to me, our life together. She's bearing the scars of our life. I'm bearing scars too, but mine are the scars of the stupidity in me that she's had to take care of. Anyway, all right. This is all about self. Take a few deep. I don't even want to read this. This is just one's body's inviolable, subject to one's own will. This is like a witch. I'm going to get to witch trials. This is exactly why there are witch trials and why we need them again. We need witch trials. The very definition of that, witch trials, is a trial. Okay, it's not a mob. It's not rounding up women on a train and then sending them to a death camp. Okay, that's not what this is. A witch trial is an actual trial. You have an investigation, you have witnesses, you have interrogations, you have discussions, you have more than one powerful individual or priest or cleric controlling this thing. You have many individuals making decisions about this deceptive, murderous behavior that they're promoting. Take the medication immediately. It's not medication, it's poison. And this is exactly what the witches in the past sold. They sold abortion pills, and the main one they sold was the love potion, which is a date rape drug, basically. That's the main witch thing that the witches sold back in the day, and they sold it amongst the Christian population. It was very big, and I'm reading about it. The priests' their main complaints was how many pagan things were going on all around them. This is in the 13th, 14th century. So paganism was never ended, or people say, Christian Europe. It was Christian in a sense, but it was plenty of paganism. The kings had a freaking magician advisor, all throughout this time. All right. Anyway, whatever about this mirror. Okay. Mantras. Ooh, Buddhist stuff. Okay. What's it like to, okay, whatever. I love the comments. Child sacrifice has been around for a long time. Now abortion is being exposed for what it truly is. In Old Testament, child sacrifice is one of the biggest repeated descriptors in there, and high priest temple prostitutes were in there. How the Israelites, the Jews, continually fell for that stuff and sacrificed their own children. Oh, again, it was over there over and over. And I got pretty frustrated with my churches. And even to the day, I've only heard it once in John MacArthur's on Grace Community Church. I've only heard it once. I appreciated hearing it, but I only heard it once. This is the whole sacrifice of babies is throughout the Old Testament all the time. And I never heard pastors preach it or teach it in sermons. And it's been a little frustration on my part. Why aren't they teaching that? And I kind of like have glammed onto this. I kind of connected with this early on as I was reading the Bible. I mean, I had to like stop and go, wait a minute, what is this? And I had to like go back and reread and find, and then I started finding it everywhere. And I was just, it's described everywhere. The Valley of Tophat or whatever, the Valley of Bones or whatever, in Jeremiah describes this entire valley filled with bones of the sacrifice of the Jews to their children. Okay. This is so, anyway, this is, and the whole reason they went to wipe out the Canaanites, which is their cousin tribes in Israel, so they're only wiping out their own people, literally, was because of their child sacrifice, how horrendous it was, how widespread. And temple priestess. Okay. This is so strange, the fact that y'all pin this post is speaking volumes. Y'all need Jesus. Since when promoting satanic things became cool? What the freak? This world is lost. This world is lost. Yes. My suggestion to you is to join as women and men, get into church and build men of virtue. That's what we have to do. We will never end evil. We're not going to end evil. The only thing we can do until Jesus comes is subdue it. We can get it to calm down. But right now, evil is out and proud, promoting itself, pushing itself. It's not in the dark alleys now, in the black markets. It's out and proud. Doing pride parades. Any healthcare procedure that involved Catholic or Christian beliefs and ritual would never be posted in a mainstream media account. But a satanic one? Sure, why not? The hypocrisy is so blatant. Well, they don't, for Satanists, hypocrisy is not a big deal. Why not? What's wrong with hypocrisy? I'm pro-choice, but we got to bring Satan into it? Yeah. So that's your pro-choice. Remember, you're not pro-choice anymore. You're women's healthcare. That's the deception. They use modern words now to recreate the same evil. In the Hammer of Witches, which I'm going to start a Gothic RPG soon setting. I've got the Dark Ages, Apostles of the Epoch, Christians in Space. On my website, go check it out. The Dark Ages one's free. I'm gonna start a store in December with like little PDFs that are cheaper than my $40 annual thing. So be on the lookout for that. I want to do the booklets. I love these booklets. These little like comic style size. This is the game. All the rules, all you need, and you can lay it flat and have the 2-page combat rules right there. I'm telling you, man. And you guys can work out your verbiage, your evangelism in this game, like your argumentativeness. Of course, I'm playing all the pagans, so I got to figure that I could play cosmopolitan writers. I guess y'all not hiding it any longer, hey? Yeah. Well, the church is incredibly weak today, so of course this is all, and this goes on. It's really wonderful. I really am. I'm happy for these women that are posting in here and doing the fight. Forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they are doing. This is messed up. They don't. As the unchosen, you will never know what you're doing. You'll never know the truth. God will not allow you to know the truth. That's Reformed Baptist Calvinist. God chooses who's good and who isn't. I in my conversion, I can tell I never, everything was done for me. My freedom. And I mean, I took these paths, I searched it out, but it was something compelling. It was something in me I didn't even know what the heck I was doing, kind of in many instances. I mean, I was searching for something, but I didn't know what it was. And then, oh, darn it, I think it's this Christianity thing. So let me just, a couple more things here about these witches and priestesses. So this is, imagine a society like this. Okay, during the BC, temples are devoted to different persons. I found this doing a search for temple priestesses. Personification of the gods. In many of these civilizations, women who chose the path of priestess lived in temples and partook in different rituals to honor and offer to the goddess. Many of these rituals involved engaging in pleasurable sexual rites. The priestesses were awakened to the power of the sexual energy for creation and manifestation, utilizing this energy to amplify their prayers. So this whole thing, this practice all dates back to ancient Mesopotamia, the oldest known civilization, Ishtar, Asher, Aphrodite, whatever. These temples' sexual activities were seen as devotional acts. So this is prostitution. This is women, girls. Can you imagine this? Like, and obviously it's going to be rich men going to these temples and doing these things. And it's just, and this was all sort of sacred and ritualistic. And you know what I bet it was? I bet it was dirty and disgusting and disease ridden and gross and just gross. And they had to put on the makeup and stank otherwise and probably had to burn incense because they stank otherwise from their diseases. I'm trying to get you to realize the Holy Spirit gets me to see the truth of porn and stuff like this. And whenever I am enticed by this, suddenly the Holy Spirit kicks in, and I'm like, here in Hollywood, I remember seeing the billboards up on Hollywood and seeing, the women and the billboards on the Sunset Strip there, and just how cool, how it entices you, it seduces you, it draws you in. And and now that I'm a Christian, I would see that and be enticed and seduced and drawn in. And then the Holy Spirit would kick in. I could tell because it's not me. It's something in me going, are they, seeing the billboards, these hot women, with their whatever sunglasses or bathing suits or whatever. I'm like, ooh, oh, are they 15? Because they got sunglasses on and makeup, but they look really young and they're posed in these weird ways. And there's a big light right there and people standing all around him as they're, that's what would happen every time. And then when I see porn or whatever images on the internet, I would just like, is that, no one, I would just, it's not even through my own power or willpower. Anyway, so that's why I'm kind of a Baptist. Okay. Last thing here. This is the witch trials. This is today modern day witch trials. And this is an example because I read about this from the monks and stuff interrogating witches back in the day. And this is exactly what the remembrance I have of this. I am a priestess. I'm not a prostitute. Sex priestess sentence. Okay. So she, healer, not a prostitute. Their clients weren't Johns, but seekers. So she would convince people what she was doing wasn't wrong. Okay. She lured broken and sexually abused women into prostitution by falsely telling them that the temple's activities were legal. She was encouraging a number of people. Okay. So this is a very deceptive, very, controlling woman. I'm sure she's freaking ugly and disgusting, but having to draw in young women, these pimping women, evidence of rapes, drug sales at the temple. There's only, oh my gosh. Okay. So they have to drug the women. This is going on back then and it's going on today because, and it's always going to go on. We can never ourselves end evil, but we have to suppress it. We have to subdue it, and we have to continue to bring back the church and women of virtue. And thank goodness we still have virtues in some corners of the court system. She was beseeching Mother Earth, Father Sky, her false god. She's and they have a very forked tongue way of saying things. She believes, I am the solution. This thing that I force people is absolute crap. Of course she forced. She manipulated them to give in to her, whatever. So this is, should you role play these kind of witches in the role playing game? No, no. But I just want you to know that it's out there, and we need to be loud. We need to bring our faith into role playing games. What does this different do with that? It's becoming more and more prevalent. We have to, as Christian men and women and kids and families, we have to really step up our faith in everything that we do. And I'm offering a very fun, easy solution that doesn't change the joy you have in role-playing games. So this is my ministry, role-playing games, changing them. And I'll be trying to work with some other role-playing game content creators as well, who make their own Christian role-playing games. I obviously want to push them to make sure that the games that they create too has an evangelistic game system to it, or game rules to it, so that the characters, whatever they play as an angel or as a human or in a fantasy land or whatever, there's still an evangelistic approach to it, because that's fun. It's fun to do it in a setting where you can kind of be a little more silly and make mistakes than out in the real world, where you do it and it's a little heavier, in our souls and bears down a lot of weight, especially when you just don't know how to do it or you don't have the exercise in it. When I first did medieval fighting, when you first do it, it's very heavy and weighty and scary, and you get paralyzed because you don't know what to do. You don't have any instinctual abilities in it. You're just standing there and you're trying to swing like an idiot, and you can get hurt too badly. But as you get more and more experienced in it, as you keep doing it over and over and survive all the freaking injuries I've had, you just become it's more instinctual. It becomes more natural. When someone runs at you with a battle axe, you're not afraid anymore. You react with courage and strength and ability. So what I'm saying is we are wasting our time with medieval armored fighting or with a regular role-playing game. And we're getting so good at that, but that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You need to do something for the Lord in a fun way that you don't give up, your fun and become just instinctively good at it. So that's what I've figured out for myself. I'm, doing the YouTube videos and then doing this role-playing game. I love doing this. And when people then attack me or mock and scoff me now, it's fine. I don't get all throttled by it like I used to early on in my Christian faith, and then stopped doing it because I got throttled. And now I say, oh, wow, it's the same. You're doing the same thing. Oh, I experienced 15 years ago. Same. I thought you were your own individual. You're not. You're just like the thing. Just like the 400 guys before, the same thing. Well, I thought you atheists were all individuals. You're not. You have all the same beliefs. Abortion, sex outside of marriage. You need evidence, whatever. It's the same every time. All right. I guess it's a religion. I don't know. It's really weird, isn't it? All right. So that's my little video for today before Thanksgiving. Keep up the good fight, guys. For the Lord RPG. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Remember the game of life. Roll holy dice.